We got a 10-game NHL slate tonight, and here to make sense of it is Geoff Ulrich. So, Geoff, Sidney Crosby and the Penguins take on the Devils tonight. Games between these two teams have been pretty high scoring all season. Crosby's been a factor, 3 goals, 6 assists in 6 games, averaging 17.7 DK fantasy points. Can you justify rostering Crosby at 8,200 and fading the top 2 centers in Austin Matthews and Nathan MacKinnon?
Yeah, no, Jessie. I mean, I do think this is a slate where you can definitely justify, fading the top 2 guys. I mean, Crosby, look, it's a great match against New Jersey. I feel like these two teams have played like every day over the last 2 weeks because every time I come on, we talk about them. But New Jersey's just like, they just have terrible special teams. And I mean, whenever you have Crosby going up against a bad penalty kill, and he's out there for like basically the whole 2 minutes when they're on the power play. So Crosby's a fine target tonight. I will say this. I think he can pay down even further. We got a big slate here, and there's some really good value in the upper tier. Like Mika Zibanejad against Philly has got 15 points in 6 games against Philly, 7 goals. He's had 2 6-point games against them. Philly's got the second worst power play in the league too, so you can pay down for 7,100. Then you got Rupe Hintz. I know he's day to day, but he seems to be a game time decision every day. He generally plays. You're gonna have to check lineups right before they lock and stuff. But if Hintz is out there against Detroit, dude's got 9 points in his last 5 games. He's just really good value. That whole Dallas top line I like tonight. So I think it's the night where at center you pay down, and you can look at Crosby, but you can go even cheaper with Zibanejad or Rupe Hintz.
All right, let's talk about wingers. Colorado star winger Mikko Rantanen going to miss tonight's game against the Blues due to COVID protocols. That could open up some playing time for other Avs wingers. Is there someone you want to target here that might step up in Rantanen's absence?
Yeah, I mean, the natural thing here has been whenever, someone's out, they generally bump Andre Burakovsky up to the top line, and they're probably going to do that tonight. And look, Burakovsky's a solid goal scorer. I mean, he's excelled in this role before. So at 4,600, it's definitely not a bad decision to go up there. I don't think he's a must play, though. I mean, we do have a guy named Connor Brown on the Ottawa Senators at 4,700, who's averaging 14 DK fantasy points over his last 10 games and has a really good matchup there too. So I think Burakovsky and Brown both make for really good plays tonight. Burakovsky because of the increased opportunity, Brown just because he's playing so well and he's on that top line for Ottawa. And look, we don't want to target the Sens too much, but they are playing Vancouver tonight. They allow the most shots on goals. So Colorado is definitely a source of value tonight, but don't forget about the Senators. I think you could even look to Valeri Nichushkin on the Colorado Avalanche. He's getting bumped up to the second line, should be out there on the power play. Nichushkin's really like way more of a boomer bust play. I mean, I would much rather pay up to Brown or Burakovsky, but he's definitely someone to think about. You could pair him with, even a guy like MacKinnon if they get out there on the power play together. So some value to be had with Colorado, but I would really look to Connor Brown and the Sens as well tonight.
All right, you mentioned Vancouver. They're back to playing games after their prolonged layoff while dealing with a COVID outbreak. Young defenseman Quinn Hughes has quickly gotten back to form, putting up a goal and 2 assists against Toronto on Tuesday. He did get a significant price bump, though, going from 5,200 to 5,800 tonight against Ottawa. Would you still roster him at that price, or are you going to look somewhere else on defense?
I definitely don't mind him tonight. I mean, you look at the defensemen on the slate, and I mean, we have some big names, but none of them are really in that great matchups. I mean, you could pay all the way up for Victor Hedman, I guess, but I really hate paying $7,000 for a defenseman. Hedman, obviously a solid producer, but he's not like that prolific a scorer. I think Hughes is a fine target here. I mean, I don't mind the Sens. I think the Sens actually make for like a good money line target on the DraftKings sportsbook. I also don't mind the Sens goalie, Matt Murray, at 7,200. But at the same time, I mean, they're the Senators. They're a bad defensive team. It's a good matchup for Hughes, who's almost at a point per game pace again. Obviously, remember him from last year. Just seemed to get like an assist or 2 every night. Look, Vancouver's come out of the break looking really solid. I don't mind paying for Hughes. It's just kind of that slate. I think trying to get up to Adam Fox would probably be my preferred play. You can pair him with a guy like Zibanejad. I really like targeting that New York power play 1 tonight. Again, Fox, kind of a similar player to Hughes, just been a little bit more prolific. So if you can get up to Fox, I'd probably prefer that. But both those guys have terrific matchups here today.
Okay, on to the DraftKings Sportsbook now. Let's take a look at some game totals. Can you give us an over or under that you like tonight, Geoff?
Yeah, I mean, this Ottawa Senators Vancouver Canucks game. I mean, I do like Matt Murray. It's more of a DFS thing. He's cheap. He's played okay, but I do like the over in this game. I mean, you've got 2 teams here who they're just bad defensive teams, but their offenses are okay. I mentioned a guy like Connor Brown. The Sens have actually won 2 games in a row here. And it feels like the Canucks, probably playing on a little bit of adrenaline over their first 2 games. I think this 6 total is definitely worth targeting for the over. Again, Canucks allow a ton of shots on goal. Just scoring chances between these 2 teams as well. I like it at the 6 handle between these 2 teams now, considering what we've seen from their offense here. So as far as overs go, that's definitely probably going to be my favorite one to target. And, the Capitals Islanders game, I think that's got a lot of potential for the under as well. 2 teams who trend towards the under most games. Islanders playing a little bit better defensively there. So that'd probably be my favorite under to target. But I think as far as favorite totals go, I like targeting that Senators Canucks game. I'm expecting a few more goals tonight.
Okay, Slate approved pick time. Geoff, your favorite bet or DFS play today?
Okay, let's get a little bit crazy on the money line. Let's go for a big plus money here. Columbus Blue Jackets plus 235. They're on the money line. They're away at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's only 5-5 over their last 10 games, though. Columbus is 3-3 against Tampa this year. They played them close in the playoffs last year, and we could get a Curtis McElhinney sighting for the Tampa Bay Lightning in goal. Andre Valevsky obviously has played 3 of the last 4 nights. He really hasn't played that good either. So I think the Blue Jackets here could make this close. At the very least, you're getting insanely good odds there at plus 235. I like them as a money line target tonight.